Hello, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, depending on where you are watching from. My name is Ahmed Hafiz, and I'm glad to welcome you to session number one of the Master Planning series in Microsoft Dynamics 365 Supply Chain Management. Firstly, what is Master Planning? Master Planning module helps businesses plan for future needs. It looks at current inventory, sales, production, and purchase data to figure out what material or resources are needed to meet business goals. By using this information, it creates planned orders for things like buying, producing, or moving items. Let's take a quick look at two different planning engine in Dynamics 365, the built-in planning engine and the newer planning optimization engine. Let's start with the built-in one. The built-in planning engine is the original engine that came with Dynamics 365 from previous version, which is called AX. It runs planning calculations directly on your company servers. It has been around for a while, so it is a very feature rich. It can handle all kinds of complex scenarios, but because it runs on the same environment as your main application, it can be slow, especially when you are dealing with lots of data, and it can slow down other operations while it runs. Now, let's talk about the other one, the planning optimization engine. The planning optimization is a cloud based engine introduced by Microsoft. It takes the planning workload of your main application and process it in the cloud, which means it is much faster, it does not impact your application performance, and the planning can go from hours to just minutes. It is ideal for real time planning in high volume environments. Microsoft recommends using planning optimization for all new projects because it is the current supported version for master planning, and we should be aware of the built-in engine is deprecated and not supported by Microsoft anymore. Now let's talk about the plan types. We have two different types. We have static plan and we have dynamic plan. Static plan is a fixed plan that remains unchanged until the next master planning run. It is used as a stable basis for approving and firming the planned orders, and it is ideal for long term operational planning. The dynamic plan is a flexible plan that updates automatically with real time changes, such as a new sales order, and it allows monitoring for the evolving order network without altering the static plan. It is ideal for short term, day to day planning and capable to promise or CTP scenarios. Now we will talk about some basic setup in master planning, and we will start by the coverage group. The coverage group control how and when items are planned for replenishment in master planning. It tells the application when to reorder items, how much to order, and what method to use like min-max, periodic, or requirement. It also answers how to handle safety stock and lead times. In the next session, we will talk in detail about each parameter in coverage group. But as of now, I want you to consider two parameters, the coverage code, and we will use requirement here, which means order exactly what is needed when it is needed, and the coverage time fence, and it tell the application how far in the future it should look when planning supply, like purchase or production orders. In other words, it is a planning window. How many days ahead should the application generate planned orders? In this picture, I used 100 days as a time fence. Now let's talk about the master plan setup. The master plan setup is where you set up and manage the planning scenario your company might need, like day to day planning or what if simulation. For example, whether or not to include current inventory in your planning, or whether to consider supply or demand forecasts, or to include the inventory transaction or not, or maybe we can override the coverage group setting. We will cover this screen in more detail in a separate video, but for now, let's keep it simple. We will include the on-hand inventory and the inventory transaction. We will not change any coverage group setting. So before moving to the demo, I want to highlight something quickly here. So after installing the planning optimization in your environment, make sure this parameter is set to yes and the connection status is connected, just to make sure the planning optimization is installed successfully and everything is working correctly. Now let's go to the demo. So this environment is 10.0.43. First, let's validate the planning optimization parameters. So go to master planning here module, then planning optimization parameters. As we can see here, the use planning optimization is set to yes and the connection status is connected. The second setup is the coverage group. So let's go to setup coverage group. We will use this one. So this one is a basic one. It's based on requirement, which means order what is needed when it is needed. And we have coverage time fence set as 100 days. And the next setup is the master plan record. I created this one, so it is very basic plan. It include on-hand inventory transaction, and I did not include anything else, and I did not change anything in the coverage. We will consider all of these parameters in a separate video. So let's keep it simple as of now. Then let's have a look on the item. So we have item here. I created this one, and the new parameter here is the coverage group. We need to assign the coverage group to the item. So also let's have a look on the transaction. We have here sales order for this item, but we don't have any on hand or any purchase transactions. We can also check this from plan. We can check net requirement. So now we have here demand sales order, but we don't have any purchase transaction or planned transactions. We can run the master planning from here or from the main menu. Let's run it as of now from here. Go here, then filter on the plan, then click OK. Okay, so the planning optimization is completed and the planned purchase order is created. And we can see here the planned order is linked to the sales order. In the beginning first tab, we can see here the reference order, the sales order. Let's have a look on the planned order. So we have this planned order. Let's click on edit. So let's set the vendor here. And if we need to convert this planned order to actual order, we need to click on verb. Click OK. The planned order is gone. Let's have a look on the actual purchase orders. And we can see here a new order has been created for this item to fulfill the demand order. I hope this session was useful for you. Thanks for watching and see you next time.